Hello and welcome to Being Free from Anxiety. My name is Emma Upton and I'm going to be spilling the tea on how we all get to find out who we're here to be, what we're here to do so that our body of unique work gets to flow through. Having the time of our life, it gets to be as easy as eating cake and drinking tea. Like, yes, please. So come join me for today's episode. Yay! Welcome to episode 30. Feeling bad when you should feel grateful. Bad, there was a few words that came up that I was seeing, like shame, guilt, embarrassment. I don't know. They all kind of fit, don't they? So whatever your feeling bad is, apply this to this episode. So, you know those moments, this is where I would drive myself insane because I was working really hard to try and make a life that felt great. Like, I was following all the rules. I call them the 6 ticks. The house, the husband, the handbags, the kids, the car, the career. Like, not exactly that. You don't need that. But it's that ideal of these are things that you need to be able to live an enjoyable life, to have done it, to have made it, to be successful. And so I was making my way through this list of things. I kind of had babies as the last thing on that list. And then I got twins. I'm like, jackpot. I'm going to be so happy when these guys come along. And they're amazing. Like, they're the best boys. I was like, I'm still not happy. Like, what is this? What in the world? That leaves us in a trap. And it's really easy to be like, oh no, Emma, you've got everything on a plate and you're not happy. Oh, like, poor you. That was the soundtrack in my head. I'm like, there's no reason for me to be so, of course, like, this is the caveat. Like, oh, nothing bad's happened to you. Like, no human in the world can say that. Horrible things happen to all of us, but I'm not talking about those things right now. So if your brain's going there, like, stay with me here. This life of I've got so much to feel grateful for and I've worked so hard to get all of these things and I've got it so good, especially when you compare your life to so many other people. It's like, then you just feel really bad. And then if you have a brain like mine that likes to overthink, overanalyze and be horrible to you all of the time, thank you, Frances, she just piles on this bad feeling, guilt, shame. So every time the feeling of, I don't feel good, like this isn't working out the way I wanted it to, I don't, like, ugh. You get Frances just piling on, you should be grateful. Like, look how bad other people have got it and you're not happy. Oh, poor you. What a victim to this world. We end up in this cycle. Now, the brain's, the human analytical conscious brain, whatever you want to call it, that human part where we can conceive conceptually, that part of the brain is always looking to come back to the emotional safe house because what we know is familiar. So it's always going to try and get us back there because getting back there has kept us alive up to this point. The brain's really clever because it knows that gratitude is the magical key to unlocking everything. You listen to anybody doing anything kind of cool with their life and they all say the same thing, like, be grateful for what you've already got, because then it grows. When you put your energy into being happy for what you've got, like, it makes space for more of the stuff that you want. We know this. You don't need me to tell you this. You're very aware of it. You see inspirational Insta posts about it all the time. The frustration is, okay, I hear you telling me that I should be grateful. Shoulding is a verb in my world and we're not allowed to use it. I hear you telling me that I should feel grateful for it, but I don't. Now what? It's this limbo land that keeps us grounded and feeling like poop and not moving forward in the ways that our destiny is calling us into. We're not able to tap into that when we just have this blocker on being able to feel thankful for things. That's why in the formula, Thankful Thursday is like, there's a whole day dedicated to it, and it's wearing purples, it's the lavender scent, and it's using the piggyback hack system to, like, remind us that gratitude is a positive thing, but we can't see it positively until we've actually actively recognized that, oh, when I think about look at the little plum. It looks a little bit like a ball sack, and I love that. There she is. We can't feel gratitude until we recognize that there's a blocker there. That every time we attempt to step into feeling gratitude, there's something that comes up in the way that almost forces it out of existence for us. So the loop cycle goes like, oh, I've got so much to feel grateful for, but I want more. You will, because you're a human, you're made of the universe, you're meant to expand. Like that's a different podcast. That's inevitable. So you go to feel grateful, then you're like, oh, but I want more. This doesn't feel like enough. That makes me whatever the bad emotion is, that makes me feel shame, guilt. It makes me into a horrible person. Like, I can't, why would I risk all of this for getting more? So then we go back into the thought cycle of feeling grateful is actually something that I can't do, that is removed from me. I don't get to do it, so I'm going to steer clear. That's what the brain tells us. If it's challenging, if it's difficult, just abandon it, steer clear of it. What that does is keeps us locked in this loop cycle of not feeling grateful. It literally becomes impossible. Gratitude becomes this, I call them code blockers. We're here with the code of our existence locked in our DNA. We know it. It gets blocked through this human experience. Our job is to unlock that code. And this kind of static energy is a code blocker. It's in the way of you actualizing who you're here to be, what you're here to do, and then your business, your dreams, what get to flow through you. When we're in this cycle, going anywhere close to gratitude makes you go, ugh, cannot. I'm just going to go and this is what we do. I'm just going to go and busy myself with other things, get some more stuff, quick fix plums, as I call them in the work. I'm going to go and get some more stuff. And maybe that will just make me feel better. Maybe that will unlock me being able to feel just so grateful for my existence, so grateful for all the stuff that I've already got, so grateful for my family, for my health, all those things that I can say the words. We can't, can't we? We can list them out. And it used to drive me nuts. Like, I can tell you all the things that I should feel grateful for. Why don't I? What is wrong with me? It's because I had this block. It's because we have this block. So our work is to wear the purples. Wear the purples, wear the lavender. I love this, a Buddhist proverb. Enough is a feast. But we can't get to that point of feeling grounded in that gratitude until we wear our lavender, we wear our purples, we do the piggyback sensory hack. We're on the lookout in the world for where that gratitude could have a chance to come in. So for me, the first time I realized this is not working was breastfeeding my twins, being like, this is the dream. In our new house, new babies, like gorgeous house, gorgeous babes there. And I'm like, I don't feel grateful for this. What is wrong? Now, immediately that shame, how could you not? How could you not, you entitled littles? How could you not? I watched that. I watched my brain be like, how is this not enough, Emma? Like, what else? What else do you need? And I watched it. And I watched that guilt and that shame want to come in and say, how dare you not think this is enough? What's wrong? Like, I watched it. I was waiting for Frances. And I watched her come in and say to me that. And I was like, hang on. This is not a helpful process. I didn't know what to do with it at the time. But that awareness is everything. Awareness is everything. So wearing the purples, and at the beginning, and it's at the beginning every time I notice something like, oh, I feel like I need to just stretch myself and I need to feel grateful for that before we go into that push energy of it. I need to ground in gratitude first. Whenever I see this showing up in my life, I go back to this. I sit with it. I notice when I'm thinking about this in an unhelpful way. There's the thought around that thing. I don't feel grateful. Then I'm shaming myself and I'm giving myself a hard time. Frances is on me hard here. This is literally why I have a pink hoodie, because she's on everything. She's giving me a rough time. She's not being kind. She's bringing up shame. She's bringing up embarrassment. What if I was just able to say, well, this doesn't feel like enough. Then there must be some expansion in this. You let go of those emotions that have been tormenting you. Oh, it's okay for me to say this doesn't feel like enough. This doesn't feel good enough. And in that, you make space. I started to make space. It's in that space that gratitude, genuine gratitude, can start to come in. This is the example I always use, but I cried at a mushroom. I don't know what's happened to me. The levels of gratitude that I have for the most simplistic, basic things now are insane. My business growth is a bonus. It's not necessary for me to feel grateful for my existence. This is because I started allowing myself to actually say the words, well, this doesn't feel like enough for me. And I'd watch that bad feeling come in and be like, that's weird. Why am I being so harsh on myself and just proclaiming like, I want more? That's okay, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, it is. No matter how glorious we've got it, there's always a next level. There's always more. And no, we won't get it until we can feel grounded and grateful in this more. But the way to feel grounded and grateful in this more is to give ourselves the space and the kindness and the compassion to say, it's not enough. I do want more. Oh, space, rather than a beast inside your brain, just pounding you all of the time. Cool. A character that I made up for myself is Grace. Now, she is a foundational part of Thankful Thursday. I wonder if I can see her in here quickly. I made her because I didn't know how to be kind and compassionate to myself. I was always hard on myself. Francis was just so loud that I'd have these moments of feeling like I should have more, that I should feel grateful, that I can't get more unless I feel grateful for what I've got. And I was just trapped in this dance of it all. I needed somebody to teach me to be kind to myself, to be compassionate to myself, to accept that I wanted more, that this didn't feel like enough, that I didn't know how to feel grateful because I've always pushed myself. I've always been on to the next thing. So I just skipped the steps of gratitude. I didn't know what it looked like. I realized when I went home to celebrate my book, I went to my mum and dad. I'm like, oh my God, it's done. Like, let me read it. Let me read you the dedication. Like, da da da. And they both were like, oh my God, well done. Like, my mum cried. Like, my dad said, well done. And then it was gone. I was like, oh, we just literally, we skate past things. That's how I've been. And now it's on to the next. I had to teach myself how to do this. And to do that, I made Grace. Grace is that loving being that's been missing from your life. Grace gives zero shits what you get up to, like literally none. Not about overflowing wardrobes with designer handbags when you have no cash in your bank or STIs. She's a constant present, so you can always feel she's there. You just might have lost sight of her for a moment as the trio had been so loud. She is warm and inviting. There's literally nothing you could do to disappoint or upset her. Oh, it makes me emotional. These are the words we all need to hear. Well, these are the words I needed to hear. Maybe you need to do your own Grace versions, but what do you need to hear? She's as old as time and as wise as all the most brilliant mystics put together, times 1,000,000. She sees the story behind every fuck up and simply says, my sweet baby girl, we've got this. This too shall pass, and in time, it will all make sense. I'll hold you and love you as it fades, which it always will, no matter how bad it feels. Grace is your ally every time you want to see things differently. She's there through every branch that Bob swings from. Here's Bob. With a massive gob that is just relentless in his thoughts and overthinking. She's there every time Toad tempts you with another warp bomb. As Toad tempting you to just go through life being triggered and annoyed by everything. And each time Francis slings another you're not good enough apple bomb at you. The story of my life, Francis telling me I'm not good enough. That your plum is definitely out there in the next job title or the next size down clothes or one more baby or that proposal. In those moments when it feels like it's not good enough, when it feels like I can't even be grateful for what I've already got, what am I missing, like what's wrong with me, when it's that energy of I don't know, I don't know, calling Grace and say the words that you wish that you could have heard when you were little. What did you need that grown up to say around you? Like, don't worry about it. But not, don't worry about it. Oh, what are you being silly for? Don't worry. Being like, we've got this. We've got this. Whatever those words are for you. For me, it's my sweet baby girl, we've got this. We've got this. Can't ever be too tricky because you're so powerful. You've got this. When you feel get your lavenders on, go out today and look for where your mind is falling into. I feel bad because I know I got it good and yet I'm seeking more. When you can feel that, watch it, and then watch your brain, watch those three trying to have a field day with you. What are the thoughts that are on loop? What are the triggers? What are you feeling inside your body? What's the beast inside your brain saying to you, that fiend, oh, this or that? Watch all of that and smile. That is heightening our awareness, and that awareness is our key to unlocking who we are, what we're here to do, and what our work is meant to be out in this world. I hope that's helpful. So that is episode 13 of Be Anxiety Free, where I spill the tea on all things, all the different ways that we get to be free from anxiety so we can create our life's work in this world to create the impact and income that we're here to make. Thank you for being here. Much love.